This was our great chat with Kristoffer and Marcus. I had actually, before this interview, had not realized I knew they were brothers, that they're twins. So I think at one point during the interview, they may even, I think during one of the questions, they were trying to call on that twin,
Yeah, he said like
mind.
telepath it to
Yeah,
me or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think they were talking about that. I always was like, is that a real thing? But then we got
We
sidetracked.
used to have Swedish bands on the show like every once a month. It's been a while, so it was nice to get back to that.
Yeah, really great bunch of guys. Love this album. I'm so glad they're back with this. If you haven't taken a listen already, it drops June 4th, I think.
Yeah, it's coming right up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's coming up soon. So make sure you get over there, and the cover art is worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah. Okay. Check it out. Yeah, I used to run an underground webzine back in the early 2000s, and you guys sent us a copy of Savant way back in like '06. So that's how I knew about you guys. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And we were honored that like you found us, I remember, because it was such a strange album. We were always like really strangely flattered that, especially if it was a non-US band, that somehow they figured out that we were weird enough to like it. So, let's start off with the name Bacon Wagon. It sounds like a greasy emergency somewhere, like a rolling meat locker and a noise rock ambulance. So, like, where did the name come from? And is it like a nod to carnivorous chaos, or are you guys just into like salty, beefy, constantly in motion type of thing?
I don't know. We had a really hard time finding the right name for the band, and I think it was a different name for a cop car I found somewhere.
Yeah, here it can be kind of slang for an ambulance, like a meat wagon is slang for,
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
Even better.
Okay, so serious question. What's your
Yeah.
favorite way to enjoy bacon? Like just a one with a cup of black coffee or wrapped around something, or is there some Swedish great bacon recipe we're missing out on?
There's both me and Marcus are vegetarians.
That makes it even better.
So my answer to that has to be fake bacon.
Okay.
Tofu bacon.
Yeah, plant-based. Yeah.
It actually can be pretty good with the seasoning. My daughter is vegetarian and she always makes up these sausage. I wouldn't know the difference with all the spices.
Oh, that's funny
Yeah.
that you guys are vegetarian. Were you always, or is it more recent, or like how long?
Oh, I don't know, like 15 years back for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we kind of get that question quite often when they hear our band name.
Yeah.
And everyone gets shocked when we say we don't eat
Yeah, exactly.
bacon, but yeah.
No, that's funny.
So since you guys are brothers, was music baked into your family's DNA? Did you grow up surrounded by instruments and noise, or was it just kind of a rebellion in a quiet household?
It was both our mom and dad. Our mother was really into the Beatles, and our father is really into the Rolling Stones. So we kind of had the best of both worlds in rock.
Yeah.
And not there was always music around often. So yeah, that's it.
But neither of our parents played any instruments or so.
Okay.
We had to learn by ourselves. Really, it was music around in the household, but yeah, no one played like an instrument. So yeah.
It's funny with the synesthesia you have. My parents always would play music while we would always clean the house on Saturdays. And if you put on Fleetwood Mac, I swear I can smell furniture polish.
Yeah, the
That's
smell
great.
is always takes you back. Yeah.
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 Funny.
Well, I mean, were your parents supportive of the type of music you were playing, or was it like get that noise out of the house type of thing?
Well, we grew up with our mother because our parents split up when we were like, how old were we, Kristoffer? Like 8 or 9,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, our mother was she was quite supportive.
Okay.
of what I can remember, I would
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
absolutely. I
But
agree.
I mean, she always wanted us to like get a job, so we can move out of the house. But yeah, you know when you come, I don't know. Have you guys played in bands also, or
Yeah,
Yes.
well, when I was young, but I find that in Scandinavia, it seems like parents are more supportive of arts than in the US, where they're just like, "That's really
yeah,
cute. Now get a job," you know.
yeah.
So yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, my mother was real supportive. Yeah, but also like time to get a job, pay for
every
yourself.
family's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. We were talking to Martin from Undergang, and he said he got so into it. He was into church burnings, and they had so much backlash. His parents had to move.
Mm, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what he said was because we asked this question a lot. How'd you get into it? Were your parents supportive? And he
Mm.
just said, "Oh, well, I went on a TV show and talked about murdering people and how all the churches should be burned, and we
Mm.
had to move." I was like, "Wow, that's the most colorful answer to that question I've ever gotten."
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. He was all in from like the age of 12.
Yeah.
You guys had that famous split with Baltimore with Dactyl back in 2006. So how did that collaboration come about? Was it an admiration kind of thing or a label thing, or how did that come together?
You can answer
What?
that, Christopher.
What?
Yeah, you can answer that.
I think it was through MySpace, wasn't it?
Okay.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, we were just out searching for other noise punk bands, and we saw the Dactyl logo with the gun logo, and thought it was really cool, and we became friends. And so we said, yeah, we should do a split final. And from
But
there on,
hey,
we discussed to like coming over to the States and do some shows. And they were super cool. Yeah, really friendly.
In fact, I was looking at one of your old flyers. Mark thinks he might have been at the Frasers on the Avenue
No, I was
show.
there. I was there. Yeah. So the funny thing
cool.
about that is we never took Dactyl seriously until you did that split with them. Because we were in
Mm.
Baltimore and we were just like, oh, local, let's go get something to eat. It's only
Yeah,
Dactyl. And then as soon as they did that split with you guys, it gave them immediate credibility. We're like, oh, maybe they're not that bad. So yeah. So yeah, you gave them credibility to us. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
yeah,
We took them seriously because of Bacon Wagon. So
Yeah, cool.
nice.
Do you have any standout memories from that tour? I know it was a while ago. I love the footage of the living room show. Were there any real Spinal Tap moments or chaotic things that you can remember?
Ooh,
Um,
I don't know really, but we just were cramped up in a small van, doing I don't know. Yeah, we played in that living room. I can't remember. Was it like Richmond or something? And
Yeah,
then we
Virginia.
had
Yeah.
these really long drives, and you never knew how many people would show up. Some show. I remember we drove to Pittsburgh and played like a really strange house, and everyone was super drunk, and there was like a almost like a hostile feeling in the. There was
Yeah. Yeah.
one guy who just stood in front of us and shouted at at me and Kristoffer during the whole show. I can't remember what he
Wow.
said, but it was like you could almost feel you were about to get punched or something during the whole show.
Yeah.
But
God,
yeah,
that's a
I
Yeah.
good
remember
vibe to
one.
play to.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember one special moment on the tour. We were playing. I don't know. Do you remember, Marcus, where it was? We were playing in that warehouse and the bicycle uh, store. All the people had like BMX bikes that they had
Yeah.
rearranged to really strange bicycles, and they were all. We were playing. and it was really,
Yeah.
really loud. Just one big
Yeah,
place.
one big
The
warehouse.
sound was really like really, really loud, and all the people were bicycling, like a mosh pit, but with bicycles.
Yeah,
and
with
they had
like a
this
circle pit.
they had these horns on the steering wheel, and one was like all covered in fur.
It was like Mad Max with bicycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny what you say about feeling like you were going to get punched, because we went to a lot of like house shows, and you dressed really as poor as you could for those shows. Like you would never wear like a leather jacket or anything like that would make you stand out. You would dress like in like ripped, stained shirts. You wanted to look like basically a homeless person, because then they wouldn't try to like mug you, you know. Don't give them any indication that you have any money in your wallet, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody was drunk and pretty hostile typically, you know.
Yeah.
Safety
Smart
first.
Yeah. Safety first, yeah. Yeah. You would never wear anything new. Yeah.
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 So 2006 to 2023 is a hell of a nap.
Yeah.
What were the series of events that got the wagon back into motion? Was there a specific spark that pulled you back into writing or recording, or did the itch just kind of creep back over time?
Oof. I remember I had a was it birthday party at my place, and we all met up, me, Kristoffer, and Peter, and we started just like we were kind of drunk and started talking about getting the band together just to write some songs. Am I correct, Kristoffer?
I don't remember. I was so drunk.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it was.
Well, something good came out of it at least, right?
Some of our best ideas start that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So, do you remember the point it went from, hey, let's jam, to holy hell, we're making a full album?
Yeah.
It went kind of quickly. We met up and talked about making some new songs and getting the band back together, but really nothing serious. But then we started doing some songs that we felt
right.
like it rocks, I guess. And it just escalated and snowballed, I guess.
Like, get lucky for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
After years in other bands like Hoofs Not Hands, Pretty Skull, Navarre, Bastard Grave, did any of those experiences bring something new to Bacon Wagon this time around?
I guess you have to answer that, Marcus. You've been in more bands than I have.
I guess it does, because me and Peter started Hoops Not Hands quite quickly after Bacon Wagon called it quits, and it was more or less like a noise rock band, but kind of short-lived. And then Peter, he's like he's in many bands. He plays like in a death metal band, Bastard Grave. So I think his drumming has took off. But I mean, for our like on the album, I think when we got back together, we were like we wanted it to make it more like easy songs, not not so
technically.
What's that?
Yeah, not so technically.
Yeah. But yeah, that is like a challenge also, to make songs less difficult.
Yeah.
And have songs that's longer.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's really hard to make a song long enough than maybe 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if I answered your question correctly, but
No, that's fine.
the best answer I can come up with.
Yeah, it always seems like drummers are overbooked. It seems like there's a shortage of drummers always.
Yeah, drummers are
Yeah,
usually in like 5, 6 bands.
I mean,
at
I think
minimum.
the only one that outdoes him is Raga Johansson. He's in about 9, 12. Who knows?
He's
yeah,
Swedish also. How do you like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Every
I
time they
mean,
come a new band, I'm like, oh, it's a Raga band.
Raga
when we
Johansson, he's a guitar player. He's got to be in like 30 different death metal bands. He's just
yeah.
yeah.
But
But anyway,
I mean, when we started Bacon Wagon, it was just Kristoffer and I. I played drums,
yeah.
and we took turns on the guitar when we recorded, and it wasn't until we got Peter, lured him in our band, that I switched to guitar, and yeah, it was that was like the first time I felt like it was a proper
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did a split 7-inch with his old band, and I think he really liked our music, and I think their old band instrument were like not. I think Peter wanted to play more this in the style of Bacon Wagon, so
Yeah,
we
more
got,
basic
we got
stuff.
him over to the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Speaking of which, so where does the title Trauma Cake come from? I mean, that's there's got to be a story to that. And who's eating it, I guess, would be my
Who's
question.
baking it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's from my youngest child. He's 10 years old, and he was sitting around and playing a video game, and he was talking to his friend, and somehow I was walking by, and I thought he said "Trauma Cake" or something, and I thought that's an excellent album title.
Is that what he said, or was he saying something else?
I think it was something with trauma or cake. I don't remember really.
Wasn't
But
it like his avatar name in the video game or something?
yeah, maybe
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. But it was all by accident. But it worked out pretty fine, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then what about the album cover? I mean,
oh,
what's going on in that painting, and how did you choose that artwork?
it looks like it could be a children's book, but then it's also like a mushroom trip with those laser eyes.
Well, when I'm not doing music, I make art, and it's a painting I did actually. So it's a kind of large painting I did, and yeah, I did it when we decided to make a full-length album. I thought, yeah, I got to do the cover. So
Okay.
I did like the painting with the I had the album like visionized, or how do you say, like yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and kind of like I wanted somehow to represent the feeling of the music and album. Yeah,
It looks like there's a very large slab of meat. Is that
yeah,
what that
Bacon.
is?
yeah,
So again, the vegetarian thing being
yeah.
a
Yeah.
surprise.
I got it.
Mm.
Hold on. I'm in my
Okay.
studio, actually. It is
Okay.
here. If you can, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, we can see it.
Wow.
Look at that. Okay,
ah,
great.
yeah,
Wow, look at that. You should put that up on Etsy.
yeah.
Do you think that was kind of debating if bacon was mesmerizing the child or the child was mesmerizing the bacon?
Oof. I don't know.
Kind of looks like a Hansel and Gretel situation. Look, it's
Yeah,
bacon. Lure you
See, I
yeah,
in.
agree. I would rather not know. Like I want to leave the mystery unsolved.
yeah,
I just think it's better that way, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll skip an answer on that one.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Um,
So what was it like recording with Oliver Dahl at Studio Quaalude? Did the studio live up to its name? It sounds like it should be some surreal promise in there.
you
Um,
Yeah,
it was really good experience, and he's a really cool guy that's into a lot of the same bands that we are into, and he was really easy to work with, and I think we just usually when we record we usually take the first take we would like to take the first take, but he was like, yeah, let's do another one. No, yeah, let's do another one. And we had to kind of get along there, but maybe we did 2 takes on some songs, Marcus.
Yeah, maybe one song we made two takes,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're not, we get like I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, Kristoffer. We restless.
Restless.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that.
we're not very fond of the whole studio process, and we like to make it like a band rehearsal or like a live take.
Yeah.
When we were in the studio. So yeah, it
Well, I had
went
listened to the new
fast.
album. I had listened to the new album like 3 or 4 times, and then I thought, let's go back to Savant. And when I went back to Savant, I was like, wow, this clearly there's a little bit of production on the new stuff, because Savant still sounds like a chainsaw. I mean, is that just the inexperience of the time, or what? I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
Savant, we recorded in that is actually Peter, the drummer,
okay.
in his basement, and he recorded it. It's just me and Kristoffer and another dude on guitar, and it's, I don't know. Yeah,
It's a
the sound
beast
is
up.
it is what it is.
Yeah, it kind of makes the new stuff sound like Dark Side of the Moon a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low budgets, very
Yeah.
low budgets.
Yeah.
So you dropped a variety of meltdowns on March 10th, and now Trauma Cake lands June 6th. That's a pretty fast turnaround from demo sketches to full-blown vinyl freakout. Between those 2 releases, was there any track that went through a biggest transformation?
Kristoffer, you wanna?
Not really. I think it's pretty much the same, but I don't think, isn't it, Marcus? It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I would just say it sounds a lot the same, but the production is so much better on the finished product.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We are very pleased with the whole process, and when I got in touch with Chris X on Reptilian, he was immediately, he wanted to release it, and we wanted to get it out as fast as possible. So it all clicked very nicely, I think.
It came out really well.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the song Lady Cramps, because I just figured, is this a song about mental cramps, or a woman cramping your style, or what's going on there?
You did the lyrics on that one, Kristoffer, so you have to answer that.
Yeah, but it's your title.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The title doesn't reflect the lyric part of it, I believe.
Ah, okay.
More of a working title.
Yeah.
Very cryptic. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much meaning into that song. I think it's just words fitting well together, I guess, to the music.
That would actually be a pretty good band name for an all-girl band. Taking the Stand, Lady Cramps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not taken, frankly.
Yeah.
I like it. So on Love Blister, what kind of inspired that long, drawn-out kind of scream or moan at the end? It's unhinged in the best way. Was it like a catharsis, collapse, or climax? I couldn't figure out which.
I don't really know. I always wanted to have like. Do you know the Nirvana song "Moist Vagina"?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know the ending to that song.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked that ending very much, and I was thinking, can we do something like that? So it was through that.
Yeah, I think you did it better with it. Yeah, I think you improved it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
kind of this punch and exclamation point all in one.
Yeah, that's the way you end a song. Yeah.
Also, for Love Blister, is that a metaphor for kind of the pain and perseverance of pursuing love, or are we talking about an actual sex injury we won't judge?
Um,
Well, I don't know. We just
No
when we
comments.
when we like do a song and we always have like a working title on it and we kind of just try to find like ridiculous names for the song. Like it's more like a working title and we just ended up using it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, when we were putting these questions together, it occurred to me that another great name for a band would be Sex Injury. That would be great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
title will be on the next album.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. You can have that one. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
I dated this guy in my late teens who like gave me like some huge hickey on my neck, and I was trying to hide it from my father. I'm like wearing scarves. He's like, "You don't wear scarves." I'm like, "I do now." Like, don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a teenage thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like they're marking you or something. So I love Brown Gravy. That was one of my favorites. The way it just echoes, the echoey vocals really stand out. How did you achieve that? And is that something you kind of experimented with or the studio, or did you have that vocal effect in mind from the start?
When we did the demo version, we just wanted really much the vocals to blend in with each other. And yeah, we always liked the, Big Black.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Big Black stuff.
Atomizer.
He uses that quite a lot. Steve Albini in his recordings, and we kind of always loved that. And because in the past we have never really used any like effects on the vocals. So when we recorded this song, we put quite a lot on my vocals, like echoes and delays, and you, Kristoffer, you like I don't know if you can hear it properly, but you kind of like talk out of sync, in the so it's like more effects on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like deliberate. We wanted to do it like so it blends in. You can't really make out the words. Yeah.
That was wild.
So which album's better? Atomizer or Songs About Fucking? Which one?
Ooh, tough
Atomizer.
choice. Yeah, I have you asked me like 15 years ago, I would say songs about fucking, but yeah, I think Atomizer is
Yeah, I
that's a
think
strong record.
Atomizer's
Yeah,
my favorite. Yeah. They're
yeah,
both so great though. I mean,
yeah.
And you guys are from the same land that created the Brain Bombs too. Have you ever seen them live?
No,
I've never
never.
seen them, but yeah, they played here. I live in Helsingborg, and they played in Malmo not
Uh-huh.
very long ago. But yeah, I couldn't go. But yeah, I would really like to see them. Yeah.
Yeah, for the type of music you play, they're one of my favorites, totally.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a great band.
Amazing band, yeah.
Yeah.
So I really also liked Honey, I'm Home, which also kind of has those layered vocals. But I had to ask, was that kind of a nod to The Shining?
Ooh.
No, I don't. No, it wasn't.
Maybe the Flintstones?
Yeah,
No.
that's it. I don't know. It's just one of those silly titles me and Marcus we used to send to each other by the phone. All these ridiculous band titles, song titles, and some end up what do you say? Like
On the
on
record?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, pretty much.
Do you have like a whiteboard where you write all your crazy titles on or something? Like, how do you keep track of them? You know?
I have a note in my phone. I have a notebook there. I have a long list.
Yeah.
And we used to send like text messages back and forth with just ridiculous song names or yeah. So we can pick one out when we find the right tune to go with it.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you had me
Some-
fooled. I was over analyzing. I'm like, wait, this is
Mm.
kind of eerie and maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. Yeah.
So looking at the world now and at yourselves, what do you think this record says about where you are now compared to where Bacon Wagon started? Is this album more cynical, more honest, or just louder?
Louder, definitely. I think. Yeah.
I think it's more true to the sound that we have been like,
Searching for.
yeah, how we wanted the band to sound like. Because if you hear like the early recordings, it happens too much stuff, I think, in the songs. We want to press in as much as possible in a short amount of time.
Condense it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so now we will. I think I really like the sound more. Like we have longer songs, and we can take one riff and just use it for a long time. And because yeah, it's quite challenging for us, at least. I think to have like one riff, like in Honey I'm Home, it's the same riff basically in the whole song. So yeah. But yeah, I think it's more the sound that we want it to be, I guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, not as much recently because I've seen them recently, but I remember back in the 90s, late 90s, I would go see the Melvins, and Buzz could take one note that was feeding back, and he would just like massage it for 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
that's like the ultimate of just not caring. And I'd be like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Is he gonna wrap this up or what? You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Look at the time.
are we gonna go on to another song at all? You know,
Yeah.
the
I
drummer's
have to go to
left,
work
you
tomorrow.
know. Anyway,
We do a game?
yeah, let's start a game.
So we play a game on the show. It's called, well, normally it's 5 questions with me. But since there's 2 of you, let me have you each pick 3 numbers which will correspond to a random question you will answer.
So 3 numbers between 1 and 100.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to
Okay.
go first?
You want to go first?
13.
11.
87.
Okay.
Well, each of you get 3, so.
Aha. Okay. 88.
3 each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got 2 more.
2 more. I'll take
No,
70.
no, 1 more.
One
1
more.
more for each.
Okay, 78. And is it me or you?
And then 1 more. Yeah, 1 more
5.
for Kristoffer.
Okay.
Okay. 1 more for me. 4.
All right. So
Uh-oh.
I guess we'll kick off with Marcus. 13. If you could be any character from a book, movie, or show, who would it be and why?
Book, movie, or show? Oh, tough question. I don't know. I last night I was out drinking some beers with a friend, and we talked about the book. I don't know what it's called in English, but The Dice Player. Do you know that one?
I don't think so.
Have you read that?
I don't think so. No.
It's about a guy who tosses the dice, and he makes up like a really odd list of what he is supposed to do, and it's like really strange stuff. So he's got to
Okay.
do it, and the book it's more and more it's more like a downfall for him. But yeah, maybe
that's
that guy
interesting.
from that book.
So he makes choices based on the dice, like the
Yeah.
roll of the dice. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's control his life. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
maybe that guy.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it'd be a good Twilight Zone.
That's how you pick your song titles, I think. You know.
Yeah.
All right,
From now
so
on.
Yeah.
sticking with you, you chose 87. How do you feel about pinned insects collections?
Uh, they're okay, I think.
As long as they're not still alive on there.
Yeah, yeah, really. But it'd be nice to watch.
Flapping their wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also chose 78. I don't know why this printed so big this time, but it did. 78. What do you think is the most underrated movie of all time?
Underrated movie. Oof. Hard to pick one just on the top of my mind, but I've been so bad at watching movies lately, but oof. Can I get like 20 minutes to think about it?
That's good interview time. Yeah.
Yeah. Kristoffer, do you have one?
Uh,
Telepath it to me.
hmm.
Underrated movie.
You have to figure that one out yourself.
I guess there is you guys don't know it, but one of my favorite movies came out like I don't before I was born. It's about like a guy. You know the actor Stellan Skarsgård? Do you know him?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, he's been yeah, he's quite famous. But yeah, it was like his first movie. He plays like a retard guy
Okay.
who grows up in like rural Sweden, and yeah, he ends up like killing all of his nemesis in the end of the movie, and yeah, it's called in Swedish Den enfaldiga mördaren. I don't know how you translate that to
That's fine.
English,
Yeah.
but check it out if you want to see a really good Swedish movie. I recommend it.
Okay.
Kind of like a of Mice and Men vibe,
Hmm?
like Hemingway's of Mice and Men with those kind of
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
they underestimate him, and he's a
Mhm.
strong guy at the end of it. All right, we're up to number 11. What's the strangest place you've ever woken up after a party?
Oof. Is that me again? Did I choose 11?
Actually, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, you chose
oh
11.
The strangest place I've oh Jesus. Oof. Man, those are hard questions. Hmm. Um, I don't know. Kristoffer, do you remember when we played
Yeah,
in
in
that
that.
art
Yeah,
gallery
yeah, that was just
or
what came
art
to mind.
school?
Yeah, with the fumes from all the oil paintings.
Yeah,
That was surrealistic.
yeah.
Surreal.
And yeah, we played like an art school here in Sweden many years ago, and it was like a huge party. Everyone was super drunk or high, and I don't know, we played there and we kind of partied very late, and we woke up in like a strange house. I can't remember. Uh, Do you remember? We woke up like
Yeah, it was in the attic of the house, I think.
was
One of
it?
the yeah, what's it called? Atelier.
Yeah, like a art
Yeah,
studio
Wow.
yeah,
there
in
was
like an
all
attic.
these open oil painting tubes.
Yeah.
It was just fuming in there,
oh
and that was one of the worst headaches I've ever had in my life.
Not from the alcohol, just from the fumes.
Yeah, the
Oh,
air was
yeah.
just vibrating, and my head
And
was like,
the skull.
yeah. Oof.
Speaking of that, I remember a few years ago, I was painting. We had this really dark paint, and we wanted to paint the room white, so I had to get oil-based paint, which smells really
that's
bad,
bad.
right?
Mhm.
And I had only one window, and it was open, but it was starting to get to me. The fumes were really starting to get to me. And what happened was I was listening to obviously heavy metal, and it started giving me a headache. And I thought to myself, is this what heavy metal sounds like to other people that don't like it?
Yeah.
And is my brain going to ever be the same again? Like, because I went outside for a while and tried to get it back, and it took until the next day. I was okay after that, but I thought that I was like, am I ever going to be able to listen to loud music again? Or
Well,
do I have permanent brain damage from this pain?
Yeah.
You know?
it's fun. It's funny you mentioned that because I worked as a painter for over 10 years, and one of the company I worked for, they only used like oil-based colors, and
Right.
you know, when you work in that environment for like day in,
Yeah.
day out, you know, it's
Yeah.
you
And
get
people say, well, you have to ventilate, but if the room only has one small window, what are you
yeah,
supposed to do? You know? So yeah.
yeah.
How come that? You bring a fan in and all it does is blow the fumes around. It's
I was
hard.
just glad I survived. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Someone picked 88. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite ice cream flavor, vanilla.
Okay.
Boring answer.
No, that's a good one.
Hey, it's your answer. It's your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I always we got a new ice cream parlor close to where I work, and they have all this vegan ice cream. So they have like Captain Crunch flavor and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when we were in the States, you guys have a lot more flavors too.
Yeah.
Maybe ice cream and other things. It feels really basic in Sweden.
That's
compared.
probably better. I mean, it's gotten really ridiculous over here. I mean, in the grocery store, they have almost an entire aisle just for Oreos. There are
Yeah.
so many flavors of Oreos. It's like I just say, you know, is somebody really like, oh, they have strawberry funnel cake? Thank goodness. You know, it's just too many. It's too many.
Yeah.
choices. No.
Does the cat have a question also?
Yes, he's very into everything.
Sometimes they like to be in the show, and then other times we can't get them to come down at all. So you never know.
This is Lucius. He's very invasive, and his favorite place to be. Like we were sitting out on the porch. It was a storm, and we have like a covered porch. So he wanted out, and he loves to be right in between us.
Yeah.
I was like,
And he likes interviews. When we're just doing the show, he doesn't want it. He's like, oh, you're not even talking to anybody. Like he won't come down for that. So.
Yeah.
He likes the dialogue. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
all right, last question is number 4. What's the best Halloween costume that you have ever seen?
Oof. The best, I think, it was from I saw it maybe last Halloween. This really small guy came knocking on the door, and he was just really small, but he was perfectly dressed as Freddy Krueger. You know, with the
Oh wow,
the knives on the fingers, and it was just like much more creepier when it was this small kid, you know, with the hat and the shirt, the stripes and everything. That was really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I used to work at a restaurant where they had a big Halloween party every year and like a cash prize for the best costume. I mean, people must have spent money and so much time. They had one guy, he had himself in an electric chair. So it looked like it was his leg. Obviously, he had his legs underneath, but it was the whole chair, the whole get up. He could shock himself. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is cool.
So for Bacon Wagon, if you could force one mainstream pop star to cover a Bacon Wagon song, who would you choose?
A mainstream pop artist?
Yeah.
Was it that? Okay.
Yeah.
And they have to do a Bacon Wagon song cover.
Interesting. Wouldn't it be nice if Britney Spears did a Bacon Wagon song?
Or was it supposed to Bacon Wagon would cover or
No, she would cover your song.
Yeah. That would be nice.
That's pretty mainstream.
I'd like to see that one.
That's pretty mainstream for sure.
Britney Spears covering "Honey, I'm Home." That would
Okay.
be
Yeah.
nice.
There you go.
So you have your album release that's coming up this weekend. Do you have a set list in mind?
Mm.
For the show,
Yes.
yeah, we're 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 gonna do like the just the songs off the album, just
Okay.
exactly
The
the
new
way it is
stuff.
on the album. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
I
So you're not going to break
remember
out any no Savant stuff's coming out.
we talked about like doing the is the song Garbo on Savant?
Yeah.
No.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
it
it is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that, but you didn't want to do it, Kristoffer. So, yeah.
So what do you think's the worst moment you ever had on stage where you forgot the lyrics, fell off the stage, started the wrong song?
Yeah, I know that. I think it was the first show we did when we got back together, and we were trying this song "Hyena Hyena," and that was the first time we were doing it live. And 5 seconds before we were starting the song, you, Marcus, you came over to me and said to me really up close that the refrain, or what do you call it? It's
Chorus.
yeah, it's like in a different key.
Yeah, key,
Key.
Right.
different
Yeah,
key. Because we had rehearsed it, and yeah, we played the chorus in the wrong key.
Oh, geez.
yeah.
So yeah,
Did people
and I
notice,
had
you
it in
think?
the back of my mind, but I forgot to tell him before. So we did like the sound check, and yeah, it sounds cool, but yeah, when we were about to do the song, oops, I forgot to tell him it's yeah, it's down two bars on the bass, and
Oh,
you were
that's
like, yeah, yeah,
I was
there's
you were
I
not
was not
happy.
happy,
No.
to say the least.
there's a live Motorhead show, and I can't find it. I don't. There's so many, right? And
Mm.
there's one where the guitar player starts to play a song, and it's obviously wrong. And Lemmy goes, "Playing it by yourself." It's hysterical, and I wish I could find it. I don't know. I used to have it like on a mixed, CD somewhere. I can't find it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that where you're just like, playing it by yourself? Oh.
Awesome.
So any chance of a US tour down the line? I know a lot of us over here would love to see the Bacon Wagon roll through again. I mean, we'll clear out the basement down here if you
Good
let
for your
me.
Yeah,
basement show, yeah. A safe environment. Yeah.
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 Yeah, we would love to do it. But yeah, we were right now we're just trying to like arrange like a smaller European tour. We've actually never toured in Europe. We only did the US tour way back. But yeah, I would love to tour in the States again. I think that kind of music is more people are more into it in the States. I mean, here in Sweden, it's like I don't know, not that many who likes that kind of
Yeah.
music.
Question for you. So when you came here for that tour with Bacon
Yeah.
Wagon, was that your first time in the United States?
no,
No, actually, we toured in what year was it? We played in a previous band. I don't know if you know it, Acid Ape.
Oh yeah, I know that man. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's my me and Christopher's old band. We did
Okay.
a small tour. What year was that, Christopher? You know?
two, maybe it was 2003, maybe, I think.
Okay. So you had been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, I mean, when we did that tour, it was the band that we were supposed to tour with, a band called Kung Pao from New York. They told us like on the day when we left Sweden that they had broken up. So we
Oh,
arrived
geez.
in New York. We had like no gear. I had like three cymbals, and we
Oh,
had like a
wow.
guitar and a bass, and we had to rent a small car and just do the tour and ask uh, uh, every band on the bill, can we use your gear?
Oh, wow.
So it
Yeah.
was like yeah, it's funny now when you look back at, but I remember when we were there, it was like, oh God, how
Yeah.
That's
You were
very
just like,
pro
can we?
though.
Yes. Can we please use your gear, please?
At least you
yeah.
got it done though. That's something to be proud of, because it sounds
Yeah.
like it was really challenging,
Mhm.
But
and
it was really fun. It was a really fun tour. I think we played at the what's it called? The festival, Emissions of Monolith.
oh, from the monolith emissions
Yeah,
from the monolith. Yeah, okay,
Mm.
yeah,
that was
that's
really
really
cool.
cool. That's a great festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Is it
still
still
around?
around?
I don't think so. I don't think so. That was a big Stoner Rock thing back when stonerrock.com was a big
Yeah.
source,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
like odd. We've been going to Maryland Doomfest too for the last couple years, and now they're saying this year is going to be the last one. So we'll see if that's true or not.
yeah,
Mm.
Mm.
yeah. So do you remember when the first time you came here, were you surprised by like how long our highways are and
Yeah.
how big everything is? It's been
Yeah. All the buildings are really tall.
yeah.
But I think also people are much more, what do you say, social to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, open.
Oh, in the United States, you mean?
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah. Much
Depends where
easier.
you go.
Yeah, I guess.
New
But
York City,
yeah,
not so much,
Mm.
more
Boston, not so much, but
And down here, I mean, you can't go out to a bar and try to have a private conversation where everybody else is talking to you and,
yeah.
telling you how they learned to make coffee and all kinds of ridiculous
I know what you
things.
mean though, because I worked for a Danish company and the people when I would go there were much more reserved, like good morning, how are you? That was it.
yeah,
Not as well, let me tell you about my weekend. There was a lot less of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I know what
know.
you
I work
mean.
for a doctor's office, and if you even say to the patients, "How are you?" You'll get a launch of every bad ache, pain they have. I'm like,
I go
I was just saying
on and
hi.
on and
Yeah,
on. Yeah. No, but I always wonder if you've lived in Scandinavia all your life and you finally come here and you realize that you could drive for 2 days in Texas and still be in Texas. It's got to be mind blowing,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's a really big country.
Yeah, I mean we're used to it, but at the same time, it's just And then and subsequently, when we go to Europe, it's like driving around New England. We're just like we're in another country,
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
We've only
How
been in
did
the
that
car. We've
happen?
only been in the car for half an hour. Now we're in Belgium.
yeah. Have
That's
you
like
been
the
to Sweden?
Americans. Yeah, I've never been to Sweden. Like I said, I've been to Denmark a bunch of times, but I haven't been to Sweden. So.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
definitely want to go to, we were talking about at least coming to Europe for the road burn because I've never
We
been.
we want to go to Roadburn because that's a really great festival. Yeah.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.